Everyone, this is MP again. Today we're gonna try to make a reusable function. So if you remember, like in my last video, in my last some of the videos, I have shown you like we made some my functions. So in which we just called the piece of code which have some like properties and values. So now in reusable functions, what we gonna do, we gonna make a specific functions to a button, for the button, and for the labels, and for the text box, enter any values in it, and as well as for the other controls as well, like for the grid view control, combo boxes, so that those are very useful functions, so that you can reuse them as much as you want. So let's get started. So guys, these functions I wanted to tell you, like these are also a reusable function, but these are not a control specific. So what it means, let me tell you. So to demonstrate it, let me open up the application. So this is our application. When we enter the value, so now I am entering like twice. If you see the code, let me see the code. So if you see here, right now I am configuring it and I am putting it username. So here I am putting like one time, and in the enter password I am doing the same thing twice. So in other reusable specific control specific reusable function, we can do these both thing at the same time, not only those two things. And for this button I am using one button function, and then on these all buttons, when we have to click, we can use a same function, and we can also use the same function to verify their name and is it like existing on the application or not. So we all things we can do at the same time. So that is the main advantage of like control specific functions. All right, let's make that. So we will make it simple as possible. So I change this name from this one. So right, so let's go to, anyway we have to launch the application, so that we have to do it for sure. My function dot launch. Okay, so let me make another class of the reusable function, so that we will not mess with other ones, just to be more like clean. All right, custom control function, okay. So this will be the another class we can use, custom control function. All right, so similarly let's copy all the namespaces to make sure everything will work smoothly. All right, let's make it public, so that this class will be available everywhere throughout the solution. And now what we gonna do, we have to get the window instance. We will make this window instance reusable. So we will say window, main window, my parent window. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pass the parameters. So this is the property name. Okay, so we're gonna pass the here we can say my window, and this will be like any window. So what we can say here, okay, here it will change automatically. Let's change it. Oh, what is happening? My WIND DOW, my window. So we're gonna copy it here, and so so for make it reusable, we're gonna pass a string, and that is called window name, win name, and so this we need it. So what we gonna do, we gonna keep it somewhere, and we gonna give that parameter value here. Okay, so now it is made. I already made it reusable. So what we can do, we can call it custom control function dot my window, and we gonna pass this string there. Okay, and this we can get it in a variable. So this will be our main window, like login window. You can give any name, login window. All right, cool. And okay, so what was the next step? This menu strip, this was also a window, right? Okay, but here guys, so here it is taking another kind of control name. So we have to be more careful here, but I'll talk to you the other type of reusable function. We will make one function extendable for all the properties like name and control name, but for now, to be easily understanding, we can use the simple function. So in this window we are using the control name instead of name. So let's make a control name. Okay, so what we can do, we can just give here a we can say window underscore name, so that it will be easily understandable what we are calling. And we're gonna copy same function, and that will be also, this is called control name, okay. So yeah, this you can change the names according to your need. I'm just put it like that right now. Okay, let's change it. Let's do a good practice. Control name, and if you hover over this, will change it automatically. Okay, cool. So now we have both type of window, and that we have to call it here. So what we are doing here, we have to see. So this is our main window, and now we are verifying the home page, right? So still we can verify the home page, and it's very easy. Or we can, what we can do, we can build this existing functionality on every function itself, so that whenever it uh, tries to get the information, or maybe try to get that instance or function, it will automatically verifies it, like is it existing or not. Okay, so in order to do that, this one we can close it. Okay, so in order to do that, what we can say here, so here we will say, okay, so here it will try to find the window, right? So we can say if my window dot exists, then let's take this function. My bad, guys. It's we gonna say, oh, we need a path. Okay, anyways, so right now let's not use like any just log function, because I have to made some change. I already made clean up the code, so I think I deleted that piece of code. So you can do by yourself, because if you already know how to do that. So here you're gonna write like if it's exist, then say you can say like the window is existing, and else you can say the window is not existing, and it gonna fail the step. So every time when you gonna iterate this function, it will always check for the window. If it's existing, it will show up here. If it's not, then yeah, it will not. If this error handling, or what we can say, like if it's not trying to find the window, because if the window will not exist, then it might give some error, and that error we can also catch it in try catch block. So I'll show you in the later videos how you can do that. For now, let's do this. So I'm not going to do this for all the functions, because the video can be too long, so that's why but in your case you should implement this functionality. So here okay, so we are doing this now. From our main function we can call this my what was that, my menu strip window. Okay, my menu strip window, and you can call it as here dot control name, and you will just pass the property, which is menu strip. All right, So similarly, let me write the code for the buttons and all other functions so that we can make this video as shorter as possible. So let me write the code behind the scene. Alright guys, just want to tell you, like here they for the window WinEdit we are using control type. So similarly for the win window we sometime we also use the control type too. So in order to use that, here I made only for control name. Maybe we have to make a different one for control type as well. Okay, so guys, let me show you how we can do the WinEdit. So for WinEdit we usually sends the key, right? So let me make that function for the WinEdit. Let me copy this one first, and then we can copy the WinEdit function and put it here. So this control be kind of WinEdit, and this can be go here my WinEdit, and string we are passing the control type, and we are also passing the values what we gonna send in the username. So we can say string value. So here we also have to pass the parent window because it is coming into the hierarchy. So here what we can say win control, or we can also, if like you have to pass the specific window, then you can also say win window, but win control contain like pretty much everything. So it's a win control is a class of all controls. So all win windows, WinEdits, everything comes in that. Alright, so we can name it as a parent window. So parent window we gonna give here, and control type we gonna pass the value which is edit, and here we gonna pass the here control type we gonna pass control type value, and the other value we gonna pass here. So why we are getting this error? Public string custom row not all code path return a value. Okay, so do we need to return this? If we don't, then we will just say public static void, because we are passing the type of the WinEdit. Anyway, let's return it then, no problem with that. Return user WinEdit. Alright, so it's ready. So now what we have to do here, we can directly call it custom control function dot WinEdit dot parent window is I guess my login window. Is it? I really forgot. What was the username WinEdit username window? What was the username window? parent login window. Okay, so this is my parent window and this is menu strip window, and okay, username window. What is this username window? Okay, this is the username window. Oh, okay, so another window we have to create. This is a okay, so here see we can reuse this function. What kind of window is control name? Control name instance we already created here, control name, so we can reuse this window. So here we can say custom control function dot win control name, and then we have to pass the value of it, which is tb username. Okay, so this one we gonna say username window, whatever name you want to give. So first we gonna pass the parent window, then we gonna pass the control type, like what is the name of that control type, and here we can get that control type was edit. And then we have to pass the value, what value we want to give. So we gonna give the one value, so that is for sure. And so what next we have to do, we have to show, not we gonna do that. So let's enter the password. So password we are using also the same thing which we have already done for the username. So we gonna use the same thing here, enter password, and here same, this is the that was the username, this is the password, window, and the value okay. So here is the edit and the value is 1, right? Yeah, cool. And now we have to, for the login we have to generate the function for the login button. So again, login button, it is using control name, and for web client, so this is not a simple function. So what we gonna do, we gonna create the web client function here. If it would have button, then we would have written the button function, but it's not, so we have to do the web client. Win client, sorry guys, which it was a win client. Okay, so parent window of that is we need it, and this gonna say my win client. Okay, so string we gonna, let's see what it needed. So it needed only control type and one value, so it need only 2 parameters. So basically your function is always depend, the parameters of the function always depend like what you needed in there, right? So here we need the parent window, and then yeah, we need the value as well, so we were right. Oh, no, for the button we don't need value, sorry. Okay, so we also need the, okay, so this we gonna change parent window user, this WinEdit. Here we gonna have to change Win client property, what property it has been used, control type. So correct control type, string value it will take. And now here what we have to do, we have to just see mouse dot click, and we gonna pass this one to the mouse. It's right. Okay, so additionally we have to just make a Win window. Click on login button. All right, so same thing we gonna do. Instead of then we gonna call my Win client, and parent window is a username Win window, and what property we gonna pass, client, and there is no need of third parameter. All right, so this is a login client window. So what we gonna pass for that login client window, panel login. Okay, cool. So guys, only this piece of code we can able to run, and with this piece of code we can able to log in into the window, which is very convenient. And this piece of code we can, it is very reusable. You can use it as many as time you want with different using different values when it's needed. So this is very convenient. All right, so let's try to run it. I hope it will work. All right, my method, what happened? Clean the solution, rebuild it. Okay, here you go, my method. So let's run this. Oh wow. All right, so I think it failed. This was already open, so please don't mind it. Okay, so we have to check what's the problem here. All right, so window control name tb password. So what we made a mistake here in copy paste, we did some mistake. So instead of username I am again putting into, instead of password I am again entering the value into username. So let's see. Okay, now it's working. Yay. Okay guys, so yeah, so similarly this way we can also make the other functions reusable, like for the buttons, links, and whatever controls you are all using in the testing. So this is very convenient way of using your function when it's reusable. So in my next series I will tell you how you can so see how here we have to make these controls reusable, but we have to make like two functions for the same window type, right? So I will show you how you can combine this two functions in a one function, and which is a very convenient, and in terms of reusability it's also very important. Alright guys, thank you so much. I hope you like the video and it will be useful for you. Thank you. Bye bye.